Now you've all probably heard about the October lull. That's this, dreaded time that's talked about that it's hard to shoot a buck in or a deer in general just because there's a lull in hunting activity. That period of time between opening day or 2 or 3, the third day into the season, and the pre-rut. Really nothing's happening, right? Well, I'm here to tell you that the October lull actually takes place in September at times too. It just depends when your opener is, because the lull takes place between when hunting pressure is applied and when the pre-rut begins. It's that period of time. Doesn't matter if your season opens on the 1st of September, the 15th, 1st of October, the 15th of October. The dreaded October lull takes place that time when you're spooked deer and beyond. It also takes place when those bucks have actually shifted away from your land. So a lot of people are trying to hunt bucks they think are nocturnal, but the bucks are coming from 1.5 miles away because they've chosen to go to actual fall food and cover during the fall, during the middle of September to middle of October, then stick around in a summer area. So it can be very deceiving. A lot of people are going into the bow season opener with the thought that, boy, I'm going to hunt those bucks in those patterns. Well, you find those patterns are very fleeting, especially when any amount of pressure is applied, those bucks are gone. So that's a big part of it too. But the lull is hunting pressure related. It is habitat related because those bucks can leave, but a lot of times they're leaving very quickly because of the hunting pressure. It's more of a slow dwindling and then movement, more that middle of October time instead of middle of September, when the habitat's actually changing and what they prefer. So look at it, the lull. Hope that makes sense what it is. It's more of a myth. It's more not really there. It's something that is more created by man than it is by deer, habitat conditions, or the weather. Number 2, just don't create it. What do you do about it? Don't create it in the first place. Either you recognize and go find that fall cover on public land, but especially you don't overpressure the deer on your private land. That's what creates the lull. You go in there, you go hog wild on opening day because you have to get out right on opening day. You have to get out in the woods. People say, well, I'll just go out to an observation stand. Well, there's still leaving pressure. So you be very careful about where you go. You can overpressure the deer very quickly. They're not used to it. So you get out there, first sit in, first hunt in, they're gone. Using the latest, greatest scent contraption machine that'll help hide your scent. Always hide your scent, right? No. You read online that you could use an ATV and drive it right to your stand. You didn't hide your blind. Those things don't matter, right? Well, they do. They really do. And the lasting implications of overpressuring your land are far-reaching into the season. So just don't create it in the first place. You won't experience the lull. Hunt by the weather. That's one of the ways you don't create it in the first place and overpressure and create the lull, because you're only hunting when the weather's good. Now it might be that, again, you're a weekend hunter, that's all you have. Pick the best day of the weather to hunt. Maybe you don't even hunt the other day. That's okay to only hunt once a week or whatever it might be. I hunt on average, I think it's twice a week for the entire season. So 3.5 months long, 2 states, I might hunt an average of twice a week. I'm sitting out 30 times, whatever the math is, but I'm not sitting out that often because I don't want to spook out the areas I hunt, because you can kill them on the couch. You can do it by making smart decisions and only hunting when the conditions are good. It's not that I don't want to hunt a lot. It's just that I want to make sure when I'm going into the woods, I'm maximizing my time and effort, and I'm not spooking out the stands, because if you spook out your land and stands, you're not going to shoot those deer. More time in the stand is not a good thing. So I hunt by the weather. I hunt those cold fronts. I hunt on the back side of the cold front especially. I might hunt a little bit on the front side if the temperatures change appreciably before the front rolls in. You're getting those easterly winds, clouds moves in, and 8 degrees cooler than it was the afternoon before. You're going to see some movement there. But I'm hunting the back side of the front for that day or two, that evening, morning sit, something like that, or morning, evening sit, depending on when the front comes through. When the thunder lightning subsided, when the heavy winds have at least gone down to moderate winds. It was 40 mile an hour, now it's 15 to 18 miles an hour, which is still windy, but it's not that 40, and the deer recognize that. The conditions have changed. The rain has stopped. The thunder and lightning has stopped. Great time to hit the woods right after all that. So I'm hunting by the weather, and that keeps me from overpressuring my stands and land, and it puts me in the best position in the neighborhood to shoot the biggest bucks, the oldest bucks. The bucks I'm after, the target bucks, about 80% of the time over a 10-year period. Number 4, find the green, not acorns. The lull's taking place because deer are in the woods eating acorns, right? No, they feed 5 times in a 24-hour period. They need diversity. Deer can eat over 400 plant varieties, regen. They've even seen them eating dead fish on the shores of Lake Michigan, probably because there's some type of level of protein in there. So they'll eat it just about anything, but they need diversity. They cannot eat acorns. They cannot eat corn for their only diet. Very hard to digest both of those. It's more like woody browse, especially the acorns. So they already have woody browse in their bedding areas, or they wouldn't be there in the first place. Now they have acorns there. It's just more of the same, just helps them get a little fat on their body, but they crave the green then. Imagine the more acorns they eat, the more green they crave. Green in the form of brassicas, peas, beans, cowpeas, forage peas, winter peas, early planted buckwheat, rye, wheat. There's lots of green that you can incorporate depending on where you're at and what's the best fit for you. That's why we started out with our fall power greens and fall brassica blend, because those were our base products. Those are the food plots that I've planted for decades that help me achieve success and make sure the deer are attracted to my land. And regardless of weather, it's almost like acorn proofing your land. Who cares if the acorns are dropping? They want to hit the green even more if they are. I like acorns. That's cool, but they're not going to build a herd. They're not going to build a hunt. They're not going to build a land or habitat. The green will, because that's what deer crave. They already have hardwood regeneration where they're at during the bedding hours, especially bucks, because they'll move a long ways to find the best food and cover in the neighborhood, where does are more homebodies. They have a fraction of the home range. So you have to make sure that you find the greens. Acorns are great. They might determine a stand on the way to a major food source. Nice white oak that's dropping acorns. That might help pinpoint movement. But bottom line, expect the shift and then hunt. Meaning you're making your plans around, hey, these bucks are going to be moving. They're going to be finding fall food and cover. And I want to put myself in that spot to hunt, not in a spot where I saw a great amount of bucks and huge batcher groups or monster velvet clad bucks in July and August. So if you expect the shift to take place, you know that bucks are going to react to hunting pressure, and you put yourself in a position to actually capture those bucks as they move into your land or into the stand locations you hunt on public, private, or land, then you're going to help lull-proof your land, whether it's September or October. Again, it starts when the bow season begins. And then you can learn all about the myth of the October lull. You know why those deer are showing up at your land on your trail cameras in the middle of the night? It's because they're coming from a mile away or more. They're not just sitting back there till 2 in the morning, getting fat, and then moving towards your food sources and getting their picture taken. And that's why you get random pictures too, because they're not doing it every day. They have choices. They can go in a lot of different directions. And that's a big part of it. So hunting pressure pushes those bucks away. A lack of good fall cover and food pushes those bucks away. That's why your cameras tell you that they're coming in the middle of the night, and they literally are coming in the middle of the night. They're not there. They're gone. That's a lot of times people think, boy. Now, what I do to hunt, my favorite way, you talk about weather, there'll be 5 or 6 good days from October 3rd, 5th, all the way through the 25th until the pre-rut takes place in my area. There'll be 5 or 6 really good days. You can see those coming 7 to 10 days out. That's why I helped develop the hunting algorithm for HuntWise. I actually have the link in the description for HuntCast. They have great maps. They have about 7 different aerial photos you can choose from, topo maps. But I developed that weather algorithm, and that's how I hunt, and I've hunted since the 90s, early 90s with that. But that's a way that you can lull-proof your hunt, because you're only hunting the weather, you're hunting great days, and that can give you some of your best hunts. Doesn't matter if it's September 25th, October 5th, the 15th, the 25th. The weather will guide you to success. You're hunting unpressured deer. You're not applying too much pressure. You can hunt more. You can shoot more by staying on the couch. Find that fall food and cover. And you're going to lull-proof your land this fall and beyond. Folks, I want to make sure you check out my web class video series, whether it's how to design your food plot program or how to design your property in general. And we have a new one coming out that'll be how to hunt the rut. But these bucks back here are a testament. Some of these bucks go back to 93. They're even in different states. I urge you to check out those web classes that you can help yourself, help your land, help your hunt. The link is in the description. And also for those that have tried them out, I encourage you to offer some feedback in the comments below. Thank you.